Hey, the sun was out. Now it's kind of out. I think it's still supposed to be sunny though.
It's trying to come out over here.
You wouldn't know that I blew all that oak tree stuff off the driveway yesterday. I did. No, I'm not walking this morning. Not walking today, sorry.
Cat scatter.
You proud of yourself?
Yeah, well, I haven't rode this one in a couple weeks, so it definitely, the two of them feel different.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one's more skittish, but this one, you can't lean it as far. And that one, so when you lean this one, you kind of want you to tumble over a little bit. But yeah, it's probably good to go back and forth every couple
So you stay good on both of them?
On both of them.
Well, lest you think that I didn't do Legos, or I'm not doing Legos, I'm back to sorting. This bin is the stuff from Michelle, and I'd already been through it one time, but I am pulling out from a different perspective this time. So, yeah, a little bit of Lego during our video time this morning. And, of course, always cat assistance. So we got our electric bill today?
Yeah.
In your email?
Yep.
And that's the guy was here a day or two ago. It usually shows up right after he actually physically reads the meter.
Yeah, literally the next day. But this one, well, it may have showed up yesterday. I just didn't check it.
Yeah, you were busy.
I didn't look. But bottom line is we just got the bill.
So how are we doing this month?
Yeah, well, you definitely could tell that we're stuck at home because our power bill is less, which is not intuitive. You know, if you're a normal ICE driving family, and you're stuck at home, your power bill is probably going up right now. Your gasoline bill is going down, but your power bill is probably going up. But when you're an EV family like ours, when you're stuck at home, your electricity bill goes down and you don't have a gas bill. So yes, our gas bill, our EV bill went
Electric
down.
bill.
Electric bill was $158 from March 23rd to April 22nd. And that's 30 days, and we average 48 kilowatts per day. Now remember, with Ruby, when we drive approximately 100 miles, that burns approximately 40 kilowatts a day. So maybe a little less, 30 to 40 kilowatts a day for charging the car. So we're basically like, you know, a third of our usage is away. We are averaging per day. It's like $4.53 per day. So this last 30-day period, it cost us $4.53. And to give you a feel for that, I've got the history here. And last year, it was $5.87. So
It's $1.30.
It's $1.30 a day. Multiplied by 30 days is over $30 a month. So that gives you a good feel. And just because I can, I'll go back to 2018. But again, we had Ruby ever since
17.
So this is true. So it was $5.34. So basically, we're saving at least $1. We're not spending $1 a day in electricity.
Yeah, a small fraction of that might be the change in the rate, but most of it is a change in the usage.
That's right. That's right. And also, in the case of a dollar, let's do $1.40 so the math is easier. At 7 cents a kilowatt off peak, that's 20 kilowatts a day. 20 kilowatts at at least 3 miles per kilowatt hours. That's 60 miles average. Because remember, we do not drive on a lot on weekends. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But Monday through Friday, Marianne's averaging right at 100 miles. And I would say that right now, Ruby, I just noticed Ruby's at 73,900 miles. 909 to be exact, I think it was. So we probably will break 75,000 miles by June 14th, which is her third birthday. But we probably aren't going to go much over that because basically we've got 1,100 miles to break that, and we've got 6 weeks to do that. And I do expect, hopefully, the stay-at-home order is going to be lifted, by then. Maybe not 100%, but we'll be in at least phase 1 or phase 2 by that time.
Yeah, well, even if, it all has a lot to do with, are we driving any days into downtown Raleigh before her birthday? And the answer is probably not. But if Don and I get caught up on projects, we may, take our little drives a little more just to get out in the countryside. So it just sort of depends.
Right. Well, we probably have a trip to Morrisville coming up next week, which is not that far, but we're also going to go to the grocery store.
So next Tuesday, we're thinking it'll have been 3 weeks.
So we could possibly actually have 2 50-mile round trip.
Sure.
So we could burn up 100 miles in extra trips next week that we didn't do this week or last week. So that's the thing.
So I have a question about the bill.
Sure.
How's our savings for being a time of use? How much more on peak are we using because we're home?
Yeah, well, last month they said that our time of use savings was only $7.99.
Oh no, that means we're not doing good.
Well, that's because we
are home.
Well, we're home, and we are not trying to be careful with.
No, we've done what we needed to do when we needed to do it.
That's right. We and also again, a lot of that time of use savings is because of the
car charging.
And I didn't finish up my conversation about the 75,000 miles. We're also going to probably be less than 1 megawatt hour per month average. For the last 2 years, we have a kilowatt hour meter on Ruby that just measures the kilowatt hours charging Ruby. Now, it's not how much she actually burns, but how much we're actually buying from the power company specifically. It measures all the energy, so the heat that's wasted heating through the charging process is captured. Even the energy used by the charger, the wall chargers, like 12 watts a piece, all that is captured. And we've been averaging 1,000 kilowatt hours per month, or 12,000 kilowatt hours per year. Well, this 2 months now of staying at home, approximately, I'm padding a little bit, that's going to drop. I don't believe we're going to average 1,000 kilowatts per month now for the last year. We're probably going to be 800 or 900 kilowatt hours average per month.
Right. When we go to do the comparisons in June and then at the end of the year, this year is messed up from our average driving electricity usage. It would be very hard to compare. It would be more apples to oranges than apples to apples this year because of our change in driving habits due to the stay at home.
Right. Chopping 2 months out of a 12-month period is the significant
amount. It was even significant too because in this birthday calendar year, we lost the time where she was being repaired from the track.
That's right.
And we lost time where we were waiting on the MCU. So that was over
damage. The car accident.
Remember the car accident, that's right. Well, and then the MCU too, she sat for like 10 days waiting to go into service also.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They had a service appointment.
Yeah, so we've had 3 other things that were 10 plus day waits of not being able to drive the car, none of which were really Tesla's fault. Right. I'm not blaming Tesla, but I mean, we just, so it's just, this year is going to look drastically different from the prior year, and I don't think there's anything we can do about it. But maybe we'll do some math where we put in what we would have been driving those days so we can make it a little closer to apples. I know we can do that as long as we're clear about what we're doing. So back to the electricity thing. Maybe my answer should have been compare on-peak hours for March and April of last year with March and April of this year. And that, you know, me asking how much we saved on time of use wasn't the right question. What I was really asking, Donnie, how many more on-peak hours are we using because we're home?
Right, I have access to that data. We have a whole house energy monitor called Nero. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, and it's
Nereo.
Nereo.
Yeah,
I always get it confused. And they have now renamed that product as Smart Sense or Home Sense or something. They've got a more catchy name for it now, but it's the same technology. So I have that data. I'll have to go look it up.
Okay, that's what I think I would like to know.
Right. Well,
how much more is it costing that me and Johnny are home and you and I are working on projects? And I'm not expecting it to be gangbusters more, but I bet it's a little bit more, at least.
Probably, since we're not likely to change between now and next Friday.
Yeah.
Which is May 1st. I'll probably wait and do that.
Do it just for the month of April.
Because the peak time changed. In other words, March 31st was the end of this winter time of use, which was impacted from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Right, I couldn't do stuff in the morning.
Yeah, but we weren't
now I can't do stuff in the afternoon.
That's right. It starts at, peak starts at 1 till 6 p.m. and shoulder is from 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. and then from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So basically we pay a premium from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and that's the bulk of the time when we're actually out working. Now we're not running the dryer, but we are cooking supper during that time.
Right.
Frame.
I prefer summer for housework and winter for cooking.
Right.
So it probably averages out.
Right. But I will do that math for next week.
Okay, sounds good. I decided it's going to be quiche for dinner, and I'm going to put these good breakfast sausages in the quiche. So I'm defrosting. I'm going to try to catch the bluebirds coming and going from the box, although I don't think the eggs have hatched yet, so there's probably not a ton of activity. Plus it's afternoon instead of morning, but I'm going to try. I noticed that my spiderwort has started to bloom. Well, I've been staying de-stressed by keeping the garage floor clean. Lots of vacuuming today. Just a small amount of water came in on the tires. You know, I spent so much time cleaning it in the first place that I've been highly motivated to keep it that way, and so far, so good. So it's time to load the cabinet back up. Like I said last night, we had to go in because Johnny had Taekwondo. It was going on 7 o'clock. It was time for dinner. This is actually fairly organized, what came out of what shelf, so we can get it all back where it belongs. Nice dappled light down here by the bridge. You know, I keep on talking about the ferns in the yard, but we actually have a lot of different types of ferns, and you'll see over here on the other side of this tulip poplar tree. These are some ones that are super large. I think a cinnamon fern. You know, the fronds are 2 going on 3 feet, and we just have a few of them in the yard. We have a lot of the lady ferns, which are the really delicate ones. But there are several varieties out here, probably 4 or 5 at least. I just came down to check on my camera. It's been a while. We've about got the garage cleaned up. When I came back from my camera, he came out from under the front porch. His belly's all nice and cool where he's been laying on the damp ground. And he started talking to me and asking for attention, and you know I just can't resist him, so. Hey, bud. Hey, bud. Here you go, cute. Wow, it sure is looking nice in here.
right. Boy, my girl cleans up good. Cleans it up good.
You can even work at your workbench. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Right, work at my workbench. What a phenomenon is that?
So one of the things on Don's project list was to switch the direction of the plugs on this power strip because they're upside down.
Yeah.
And not convenient. And it's always bothered him, so he figures he can switch it, and also he doesn't want this extra long cord dangling over here. He wants it to look more neat, so that's up next. Yeah, today's the hottest day in the 7 or 10 day forecast.
Yeah.
So we're hanging out in the cool garage today.
It's very nice.
Yeah,
yes.
We're hanging out downstairs and in the cool garage.
Yep, one of the things on my list is to put up my... Oh, well, I was going to bring it back. I have this thing, it's supposed to go like a clock or something. It's a humidity and temperature. I have one down there, and I have a thermometer there, but I'm going to put one here. I'm just going to put it right here, so I can just look and see.
Okay.
Yeah, so they think they're going to stop me. These people, they use these triangular bits, but they don't understand. I bought one of these something, I don't know, professional security bit things.
You're looking for one that looks kind of like a Christmas tree.
You're looking for one that looks like a little triangle. Like that?
Okay. Well, to me, yeah, I see it.
Oh, that's it, right there.
So they're not going to stop you.
Oh, well, you have a bigger triangle. What, you don't have the triangle bits? Oh, sorry. It's a bit more involved than I thought. They actually, I understand now why they use those security screws is because they basically have bus bars. They use just straight bare copper wires. They did put a piece of insulating film in there after you got the cover off. So it is true that I can flip this around. That's true, but I can undo these sockets, and it's probably going to be a lot of work to pop those little suckers out of there. So yeah, I'm going to have to think about this. I'm just going to have to think a little bit, because what I think I'm going to have to do is unsolder it from here, flip it around, and then this end solder back onto there.
Okay.
All this just to have the cord on the end. I guess the other thing I could do is do something silly. Since I have so much power cord, just flip it over like this.
And go that way with it.
Yeah, and then go. Only then is now my stupid writing on my. Look, see these guys. It's like there's no right way. See, the wording on here says reset and off, so that's on. But see, that's these. I consider this upside down. You know, do you have the toilet paper go this way or I don't know, but that's just me. So I want it this way. So I can make it do that. But now the red is upside down wording. Not that
well, your wife wants to know if you can't just switch the wording, that button, pop that off and flip it. Nope, because it's on the other side of that.
Soldered.
Yeah.
See, this is right here. See, it's
yeah,
soldered.
I guess you can't do that.
So this is going to be.
I can make you a little label with the Brother Label Maker.
Huh? Right. Well, what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to think on this a little bit.
Because it was plugged in here.
Yeah.
But there's an outlet over here.
I could run the wire.
And he could just tuck it up and run it over here.
Yeah. And that might.
And then the only thing wrong is the lettering. But it lights up, so you really don't need the lettering to tell you if it's on or off, because it lights.
I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm just going to run the wire that way and plug it in up there.
Right. Well, sometimes the simpler solution is okay.
Yeah, because otherwise it's just going to be a lot of work.
Well, Don's being a good sport about working on his electronics while I practice at the keyboard. I'm having fun. I'm up to reading the notes again and using both hands at the same time, and sometimes 2 keys or 3 keys at once. So I'm And pleased with my progress for a week back at trying to remember what I used to be able to do without thinking about it. So it's fun. I'm really happy for the opportunity. Now Don's saw's eventually going to go back in this spot, but we're sort of keeping the woodworking stuff on the cart because we're not done with it. Why put it away and then have to drag it down the stairs again? So but when he's ready to put his saw over, I've got the keyboard stand. Don says he was excited he got to use this 90-degree screwdriver attachment.
Yeah, it worked great.
Way cool.
Yep.
It's coming.
Yep, it is really close.
While Don finishes up the power strip, workbench, wire, cleanup project, tidy up, finesse, I am headed down to the environmental park while it's still daylight out to play my Pokemon Go. I bet that truck being there startles somebody coming around that curve a little bit. Well, Don got the power strip just the way he wanted it. All the cords are tucked up. I have ordered a pink lightning cable that'll plug into this USB power box.
Pink?
That's right. That way you won't be stealing my cable. Oh, that's right. You have Android cables anyway.
That's right.
But anyway, I need to charge my phone when we're out here sometimes. You know, Don makes fun of me. Us iPhone people, our phone's pretty much always dead. Well, that's because I'm always using it for something. Anyway, it looks good, Donnie.
Thank you, pretty girl. Well, there it is. My, what do you call it? My thermometer humidistat, hydrometer. I put it on a favorite piece of cardboard. Maybe I can make a living making these. I have to buy a lot more Heineken, I guess.
Quiche. That's what's for dinner. So we found out that the kids in North Carolina are not going back to school this school year. I think we already knew that, but the governor confirmed it today. For Johnny, that would have meant right around Memorial Day, traditional calendar kids right around the 1st of June-ish. Year-round kids would have ended at the very end of June. So just depending on what track you were on here, because we have 3 or 4 different track systems. So we get better utilization of the buildings because we don't have enough space for kids in schools. You know, depends on when you would have gotten out. But the governor had previously said, I think, May 15th. And Johnny gets out around Memorial Day, so it made no sense for him to only go back for 5 to 10 school days anyway, especially since they'd already canceled the standardized testing. At any point, I'm happy with this news. I thought it was just a matter of him saying it anyway, but I'm happy that he confirmed it. Johnny had 4 A's prior to going out of school for the stay-at-home order. So he'll just be able to say he wants those A's recorded, I think, for 4th quarter too, is how it's going to work for him. They have a pass and a withdrawal are the other options for high school kids. It varies for middle school and elementary school, but the kids whose transcripts might matter, they're making it as easy on those kids as possible.
Funky.